G'day everyone and welcome to Comics Etc. Live, Season 2, Episode 2. Today we thought we'd have a bit of a run through of what we've been reading while we've been off air. So we've gathered the books that we had in stock that we've read, and we're going to have
some that we don't have because some of them are hot ticket items.
Yeah. So we're going to grab our books just to compare piles and to see what we've been reading. Maybe we've been reading the same things, and just have a quick chat about what was our favourite and what we didn't like and stuff.
Who took the competition further?
All right, let's have a do. So you ready on the count of three?
Well, this is only a surprise for them, but
2, 3. There we go. So these. I can see James won there.
Yeah, no comp.
Well, it kind of is. I
wasn't under the impression that it was a competition. All I got told. Well, I didn't get told. I just read these because I don't know. I like reading them.
One of us is doing our job. So I just read a lot of Marvel, DC. I didn't read many Image titles this time around. I don't know why. I just didn't really feel like it. So
I won that comp.
You definitely won that.
Okay.
Comp.
Yeah. Cool.
So we'll just talk about the ones we really liked and the ones we didn't, because there's a lot here. Like, oh my god. So I've been reading a lot of DC and Marvel because, like I said in the previous episode, they're going out of print. So I want to read them as soon as they come out. I'm reading them so I can make sure that I read them before they come out.
So was that in the previous episode?
It was in the previous episode. What did I read? Okay, I'll start with what I love the most, and this is thanks to this guy here.
Well, look. We both got the same one. I was going to show the second volume, but again, for the second time, we've sold out.
Yeah, so we've got a boatload coming in a couple of weeks, hopefully. So, in the last season of Comics Etc. Live, I made a lot of recommendations to Remy that he read and loved, and I pretty much ignore whatever he says.
Because it's very nice, like friendly staff, very good environment.
Yeah, best friends. But I actually, in between seasons, I actually read a lot that he recommended, and he recommended I read this, and I loved it.
Well,
it was amazing.
Because would you have read many of the Earth ones?
I read Wonder Woman and I didn't like it. I read Batman and loved it. I read Superman and didn't like it.
Good.
And I didn't read Teen Titans, but I think I might now because of Jeff Lemire.
Yeah, someone told me that it was good. But yeah, tell them why this one was good.
Oh, it's just
space horror.
It's space horror, yeah, and it's for a space horror. It's really grounded. Like, it's really about Earthman, Hal Jordan being like trapped in space.
Yeah, it's Dead Space. If you have played that game in a comic,
if they make a Green Lantern movie, I hope it's.
Yeah, that would be good. The art's very nice as well. I enjoyed that one.
You have a chat. What did you pick one?
This morning I actually finished reading The Curse of the White Knight, which James did. I liked White Knight very much. James did not.
Boring.
I liked the fact that Joker had the split personalities of Jack Napier and him, and in this they fight a lot more. A lot happens. But it actually deals with the Wayne history a lot, which is pretty much the whole meaning of the curse, because it comes from something that happened, I won't spoil it, but it happened in the Wayne history a long time ago.
Hey, you actually kind of sold it to me, because the reason I didn't like the first one, I thought it was too talky.
There is a lot, but yeah, Harley plays a big role, which is why I can tell she's getting her spin-off series, I think, for this one, isn't it, a mini? But another fun fact with this one is at the end is one of my favourite one-shots they did, and apparently Sean Murphy wanted to add it in this, but it would have made it too long, and it happens between two of the issues, and it's a spin-off about Dr. Freeze and how...
It's nice to see you.
Anyway, I won't spoil it again, but it's got a lot to do with German history. So yeah, very good.
Ich bin ein German.
Why do you wreck everything?
So this is a bit for him, because I realise I haven't talked to you about this one. So I read that one because I'm a huge Darwin Cook fan.
Wow, you're a good reader. Wow.
I read that one. That one I read just because I read this one again. It's not that good.
Yeah.
So
really?
this is...
It has some one-shots, doesn't it?
So even though it says The Art of Darwin Cook, it's not like an art book. It's actually all his short stories that don't really fit anywhere. I didn't like it because it was very disjointed because of that. And I've now realised that I like his long-form storytelling. I think his short storytelling It's just a little bit.
Yeah, but to someone that's a diehard fan, could you get most of this anywhere else but this?
No, so if you're completist, you've got to get it.
They did do a hardcover as well.
And the other reason I wasn't a big fan of it is that the last half of it is just his All-Star Western Jonah Hex storyline reprinted,
No one cares.
which he didn't write, and he I didn't think it was great. So yeah, it was alright.
I really enjoyed. So the Old Guard, they did the Netflix series and everyone went nuts for it, and it sold quite well.
Yeah.
But I was excited to read this because I thought, I wonder how it's going to be. And to be honest, I like it better than the first volume. A lot more happens. It talks about their origin a lot more. And if you enjoyed the first one, definitely read this one because it ramps up and it's a lot better.
I've read the first.
Yeah, read this one.
Silly
it's good. It's the same team, and they're doing one more book, and then that's it for the Old Guard.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's a 3-book series.
Nice. I also read. Yeah, what did you give it to me for?
I don't know.
So I can read it.
No, yeah.
I read DMZ. Look at this. So this is kind of what DC's doing now. They're compendiums instead of they're cheaper. What are those things called that everyone loves? Omnibuses, but they're not really that much cheaper. They're thick. They're good. They're value.
This is a political one, isn't it?
No, not really. Well, it is, but isn't. So basically, a war has happened in America. War? It's very timely, actually. And it centers in New York, and New York is now a separate state that's kind of overrun by just independence. Like they're separated from America. And a journalist is sent in to kind of journal what's going on. And this is his story about what he finds in New York. It's excellent. It's becoming a HBO TV show. And what I found really interesting about it, it's written by Brian Wood, who is now on the blacklist for doing very inappropriate things. I think HBO did a really good thing, and the people who came out that were Brian Wood's victims are now the showrunners. So they've turned a bad thing into a good thing. And yeah, read the book. It's really good. It's very close to home at the moment. So if you're a bit over what's going on in the world, don't read it. But if you want something that's really good and political, loved it. Look how thick it is. It took me ages. I think it's 4 trades in one. No, it's not. It's like 6. I don't know. Look it up.
Good facts.
Anything
Well, let's go with the American theme.
Yeah.
And I read this one because it is the artist, so Charlie Adler, that does the Walking Dead art, did the art for this, and it is very, the main character actually reminded me of a cross between Negan and Rick.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very Walking Dead-ish, obviously, but the story's really cool. It is the Empire State Building there's vampires in it, and a curse awakens them. And yeah, there's a bunch of people they follow that are trapped in the building, and this goes through and shows you how they... Well, I won't say how it ends, but it was very good. I really liked it, and the art is really good.
Yeah, Adlard's artwork is very good ink.
And it looks different because it's coloured, obviously. But in saying that, remember they are doing The Walking Dead coloured, which is dividing people a lot.
Well, I'm actually, now that I look through that though, I'm a bit more sold on the concept because...
Yeah, but I don't know. From what I've seen of The Walking Dead, it's still just weird seeing it.
I'm not going to talk about these things.
Talk about the one that we sold so many of.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Under the Red Hood got hotcakes, one of the biggest sellers of the last month, because I think it's related to the new Batman trailer, or like some blog online or some videos did a lot of articles about how it's relevant to like one of the projects coming out. I'm not sure which one. So a lot of people read it.
It was after that, near that fandom event, and then we couldn't people kept coming in, that and Long Halloween.
Yeah. So I reread it because of that, because I
haven't read that one yet.
It was one of my favourite Batman stories.
So I should read it.
I didn't really like it this time.
Okay.
It's really quick. Comics these days I think take quite a while to read. It's really quick. Like there's not much dialogue. It's a bit funny.
So it's more like.
Yeah,
like just big panels or.
Big panels. Yeah, it's hard to put my finger on it, but. It was still good, but I remember it being one of my favourites, and it hasn't aged as well as I thought it had.
Okay.
And Red Hood is in it, but it's as much a Red Hood story as it is a Black Mask story. And it's very much set in the period of when it was written. So in other words, something's happened to Batman and Bruce Wayne that, having just read this randomly, I don't know what they're talking about, and they don't really explain it. So it was okay.
I'll quickly go through the...
Do one more each.
Oh, well, I'm going to mention Blade Runner because it was really good, and if you like the Blade Runner movies, you'll love this. And the second volume came in and sold out already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, get on board. It's really good. The art's nice.
Yeah.
Isola was really good. Beautiful comic. Art is amazing, and the story gets better in volume 2. But the one I really want to talk about is the Basket Full of Heads.
Oh, yeah, did you mention Unkillables?
The mini,
the sequel
the
to
mini spin-off from Deceased. It was quick and it was good, and it's about all the villains that are actually coming together to work together to help. So they're actually doing good.
So
And it was good.
sequel.
If you like Deceased, you know. And yeah, this was really good. The Basket Full of Heads, the art is awesome as well as the story. And I feel like Joe Hill was rushed in finishing this because it was just 7 issues, which is a random number. And I feel like the ending is kind of like, all right, we got to end it.
Yeah.
But very good horror. And I look forward to the rest of the Hill House books that are coming.
Do you reckon the line will continue now that DC doesn't like comics anymore? AT&T, sorry. That AT&T.
I reckon it depends on the sales of the hardcovers.
Yeah.
Which this one is the last one here, I think. So far, so good.
Yeah. I hope if it doesn't continue with DC, I hope the contract was made so he can take it to another publisher.
Yeah, well, I hope someone picks it up.
Yeah. The last one I read, because I read it as a kid and I loved it, was Danger Girl. God, it's good.
I've never read it.
It's a fun comic. So basically, it's Indiana Jones meets James Bond.
So Tomb Raider?
Meets Tomb Raider. And it's just really fun. And I think the reason I loved it so much was just that it's fun comics are so rare these days.
Looks a bit naughty.
It's naughty. It's very cheesecake. Very
Who does the
cheesecake.
art?
It's J. Scott Campbell. One of the only comics that J. Scott Campbell, who now is a very notable cover artist, has done.
Eternals for you.
He did Gen 13 before this and a few others. It's really good. The artwork that you're looking at the front is what you get on the inside, so if it's not your cup of tea, be on the lookout for that. But it's funny. I really liked it. I remembered something while I was talking. How I mentioned that Remy's been my inspiration lately, except in the hair department. He needs a haircut.
No.
I read Black Hammer on his recommendation.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe I forgot it. It's one of my favourite comics of all time now. It's brilliant. It's, if you are a big fan of DC in the Golden Age or Silver Age or even Avengers or Marvels, the comic Marvels by Alex Ross, it's fantastic. It's a lot of old school.
It's a mix though. It's like old and new, and they tell the stories really well.
So they're trapped in a town called...
What's a farm?
Black Hammer. Well, they're trapped in the town because they can't go past the town borders,
Yeah,
but they live on a farm in the town, and we don't know why or how, and the world has... They know all their heroes have disappeared, and the heroes are trying to escape, and I don't want to give too much away, but it's by Jeff Lemire, who can't do any wrong if you ask me. Brilliant book so far. I'm about halfway through it at the moment.
Now I realise that when you get further on, it's going to be so good.
Oh, really?
Well, because I don't tell people anything what happens, but it's really good.
Oh, I'm looking. Yeah, I'm going to try to finish that as quick as I can because it is brilliant. Black Hammer, read it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been reading a lot.
Let us know what you've been reading.
Yeah.
In the comments.
Yeah. And I keep looking down because the computer's on the ground at the moment because we forgot how to use technology. So when I go down in a second,
he's not coming near me.
I'm doing it to turn the laptop off. So peace out. Enjoy shipment week this week. Like and subscribe, and we'll do another deep dive. We might do some single issues next time too, because
yeah, well, when they come in next week.
Well, I've read a lot of previews. One of the good things about DC lately, I have a good thing to say about them. They've been sending out a lot of preview comics. So I've read Batman 100. I've read that White Knight Harley Quinn issue one of that.
Thanks for sharing it.
I can't. I'm not allowed. I signed an affidavit. Yeah, so I'll give you a bit of a sneak peek of some of the stuff I've read. So, all right, cool. See you guys next time. And I'm about to. Okay, it's goodbye, everyone.
He's turning it off. Look. No, I don't want to put my hands up. That looks worse.